Hey, how's it going there, YouTube? Leonhardt here, back again with another deck profile for you all, and I'm here with my new mat. First of all, just got my new Kaon mat in. Don't worry, the Shimikaze mat's still underneath, but this is the mat I'll be using in my videos from now on. I just thought it was time to get a new mat. The other mat, Kantai Collection mat, was getting a little boring after owning it for so long, and I just wanted something new. So I looked back at my list of anime, and I'm like, excuse me. Which one would I want? And I'm like, well, why not Kaon? And I ended up getting some sleeves too. It was all $25, so I couldn't really deny it. So I ended up getting it. And yeah, this is the new mat. I hope you guys like it. And as for the deck profile, this is my updated 2.0 version of the Tetra, the Tetra Burst Legion build for Blue Storm. They had new support from the Aqua Clan booster. I decided to check them in, see how they all work out, and the deck's still a lot of fun. So that's pretty much it. Nothing too special about the deck. The new support does help, but it still doesn't really change the status of the deck. It's still just for fun. It's not really competitive in any way, and that'll be it really. Let's get into the deck profile. So we'll start off with the grade 3s, of course, and there we go. First grade 3 is, of course, Blue Storm, Wave Dragon, Tetra Burst Dragon. Now, one thing I want to bring up now that the clan booster's out is when the Blue Wave support was announced, a whole bunch of people at my local card shop were buying the crap out of these, and they went out of stock for quite the long time. And I was wondering, why are so many people so interested in the Blue Storm, Wave Dragon, Tetra Burst Dragon? Like, well, why are they so interested in this Legion? I understand it's a Legion, and it's pretty half-assed, really, but why would they want this? And when they saw it had Blue Storm Wave Dragon in its name, they thought that the Blue Wave in its name also correlated with the Blue Wave support. Well, it doesn't. It has to have Blue Wave, like two words right next to each other, not Blue Storm Wave. So it still counts as a Blue Storm. So its skill is... Excuse me. It's very, very cold over here. Its skill is when it's in Legion, counterblast 1. After this unit attacks a Vanguard, or when this unit attacks a Vanguard, if it is the 4th battle of that turn or more, it gets plus 5,000 in a crit. That's what I meant by half-assed. Like, it's fairly weak. I mean, getting plus 5 in a crit's fine, but other than that, it doesn't really hit for the best of numbers. And when this unit attacks a Vanguard, if you have another unit in the same column as this one, he gets plus 3,000 when he attacks. So, like I said, it's not that bad, but it's really not that good either. When I heard that they were getting this type of Legion, I really did not expect them to get something so weak. I definitely thought it'd be a restanding Legion, but then it'd be hella expensive, but they weren't doing a revival for Tetra Burst for a while, so I'm not going to do that. Alright, so next up for the grade 3s are Blue Storm Marine General Michael, of course. This is the much better Legion in Aqua Force, in my opinion. It's very, very, it's very viable, very versatile. You can play this in any Aqua Force deck, really, because he does not just work with Blue Storm, despite the fact that he has Blue Storm in the name. That doesn't really matter. So his skill is choose a card from with the same name as a unit in your Vanguard circle and discard it. So when he's in Legion, you discard Milos or Michael. And at the end of the battle, this unit attacked a Vanguard. If this unit is in Legion, if it is the 4th battle of that turn or more, you may pay the cost. If you do, exchange the positions of all your rear guards and choose up to 2 of them and stand them. That's absolutely amazing. You can pull off so many combo plays, so many amazing plays to pull off one extra attack, especially when you had all the triggers. Because unlike Bermuda, where they bounce, this when you rearrange your field, so you still keep the triggers and all that status and whatnot. And when this unit attacks a Vanguard, if it is the 4th battle of that turn or more, he gets plus 5,000 power. So just by the 4th battle alone, he's already swinging in for 25. You have a decent, at least 6k booster. It's 32, 31k, which is not that bad. So yeah, we can play for Michael. Alright, now let's move on to the grade 2s. Now, the grade 2 lineup I did change up a bit because of the Blue Storm support that came out in that set. So I now only play 3, and it still works out just fine, but I now only play 3 Blue Storm Marine General Starless. This is your Basil of the clone when you're in Legion, of course. If you don't know what that is, at the end of when this unit attacks a Vanguard, if you have a Vanguard that's in Legion, he gets plus 3,000 power, so he becomes a 12k hitter. And at the end of the battle, this unit attacked, exchange positions with the unit in the same column. So after you attack, move up. That's pretty much it. So I only play 3. I would have dropped other cards down to like 1 or 2, but that would not make it very consistent. So just playing it at 3 still really helps. Alright, now let's move on to the other grade 2. Of course, if you're playing Michael, you ought to play Milos. Oh, pardon me. It's very cold over here in the States, and got a very dry throat, itchy throat. Alright, so this is your what's it called? Your Tidal Assault of the deck. Its skill is once per turn. At the end of the battle, this unit attacked a Vanguard. If your Vanguard is in Legion, you stand this unit, but it gets -5. And the reason why this card is so great in this deck is not only does it work with your Persona skill, or restanding and getting an extra attack off, despite the fact that it's weaker, you can still totally work around that, is the fact that he has resist. Now, if you play other Aqua Force decks, if you play against Kagero or Narukami, or other decks that happen to target your cards, they'll definitely have their Tidal Assaults blown off because they're very essential, but Milos can always stay. They just have to be attacked, or I believe Gear Chronicle can just swoop them off your board, but that's also a bum. But the fact that they can't be like retired and stuff like, or locked, it's still great, because that way you always have your Milos on board, keep those attacks coming. Alright, now let's move on to the other grade 2. This is from the new support. I only play 2 of them, because this deck can be quite counterblast heavy, depending on how you use them, especially with Tetra. Skill is the 3rd wave or more, so they introduced waves in this set, which basically is a shorter version of saying how many attacks. Like, it's just like in Yu-Gi-Oh! Instead of saying remove this card from play, or like those 5 words taking up card space, they just say banish and stuff like that. So in Vanguard, they pretty much take more stuff from Yu-Gi-Oh! Like a cough extra deck, and you have something called waves. So instead of saying like all that stuff, like when it is the 3rd or when it is the 4th battle of that turn or more, they'll just say wave. And what wave means is that battle, and when it has the 3rd or more on it, it means it has to be the 3rd or more battle. Just wanted to explain that real quick. But anyway, this is Blue Storm Battle Princess Linpia. She's a very decent card, made me win a few games because she can hit in for a very nice number by herself. Her skill is when this unit attacks a Vanguard. If your Vanguard is in Legion, you may counterblast 1. If you do, this card gets plus 3,000 power, so it's another 12k attacker in the deck. And what I mean by another 12k attacker in the deck is that I play 12k attackers in the deck. This deck is fairly weak when it comes down to the rearguard circles. You will hit in with your Milos or possibly your Olympia and your Starless, but they'll only hit for 12, 12, 9 apiece. Well, if you're boosting them, of course, it'll be 16, 15. But you're not always going to be boosting, or you might not always have your stuff on you. So when it comes down to other potent heavy hitters by themselves, you always want to play something solid. So I always like to play the 12k attackers. Blue Storm Marine General Gregorius. Yeah. You can totally change this up however you want. This is all players' preference, just so you know, always. And if you want to play more of something, just let me know. Comment down below. Comment down with your opinions and your beliefs that this deck ought to be played. And I will totally accept them. I'm totally open to new ideas. Alright, to grade 1s, I play 3 Blue Storm Marine General Hermes. It's a 10k attacker of the deck. Now, honestly, I was totally thinking of taking this card completely out of the deck, but I really enjoy this card just for the fact that it's early game rush. It's very good because it's a 10k attacker. You can knock off the rear guards with ease by itself. If you don't happen to have any other good heavy hitters to use with Starless, you can always have your Hermes to boost to back it up with a 10k attack. And that's pretty much it with that. Next, we play 3 of the very essential Blue Storm Soldier Tempest Border. This is your, Wheel Assault, I believe, of the deck. Its skill is, at the end of the battle, this unit boosted. If your Vanguard is in Legion, choose 2 of your Aqua Force units. rear guards and exchange their positions. So it's no cost, unlike Wheel Assault, which is Counterblast 1, which would make this deck way too Counterblast heavy because you will utilize this a lot. And it really opens well plays because you're going to use this to always boost Milos, because Milos always needs to hit in for a good solid 16, or possibly a 9, just stun, stand up, it'll attack for 9, well, 12. No, 11, sorry. So you always use Milos and Tempest Border together, and the reason why you'll combo with that is because your Starless is already going to have a grade 1 or grade 2 behind it, but you're never going to boost Starless because you're just going to keep on the pressure with the attacks. So if there's even the chance that you have an open space right below your Vanguard circle, then you can always combo Milos with possibly exchanging the Hermes that was now in the front row with a grade 2 that you place back there. Just keep the field in your own consistent way and punch through like that. Alright, almost done with the good ones there, guys. I now play, in place of one of each, 2 Penguin Soldier over the Blue Storm Fleet. This card helped so much. I only got to get it off twice, maybe 3 times. I do know I got it off twice in my last game last week. But this card helps so much because I don't play the grade 3 Searcher in this deck because I want to bring in more heavy plays in the mid to late game. Well, with the starter I play, it can be early game as well. This card definitely helps with your stride fodder. Well, I don't have strides for this deck, but definitely helps when you need Legion fodder, especially when you want to build up a better board. Then you can call your grade 3s to the field. Its skill is wave 3 or more, so same thing. When an attack hits a Vanguard during the battle, this unit boosted. If you have a Vanguard with Blue Storm in its name, search your deck for up to 1 grade 3 with the Legion ability. Reveal it to your opponent, add it to your hand, shuffle your deck. So it really helps when I'm sitting on a Michael, and let's just say at the end of the battle that I boosted with Michael, I would chain his effect first because his effect also happens at the end of the battle. And I would use his effect to dish out Michael, and then use Michael's Persona Blast ability and ditch him, because it's at the end of the battle, and proceed with the Persona skill, stand to units, and all that good stuff. And if you also need another Legion, like if you're sitting on Michael, you want a Tetra Burst, or you simply want another grade 3 in general, he always helps. Plus, thins out the deck, so you can't really argue with that. Alright, of course, we play 4 Perfect Guard, Blue Storm, Battle Princess, Electra. Very nice name there. So, 4 Perfect Guard, of course, nothing else to say about it. And I play 2 White Signals Penguin Soldier. I definitely find this to be an essential card in the deck. This deck is not too counterblast heavy, depending on how you play, but it can be. But the reason why I don't play the Jellyfish Soldier is because draw power is always essential in Aqua Force, because you never ever get enough draws off. You'll get more attacks, but you won't ever really get a lot of the draws. And because you play Legion, if you ride the bad rides or you want a Legion again but you're missing your mate, always dish out those cards from the soul to build up your soul stack and draw more cards. Send out the deck that way. So yeah, if you don't know, it's skill Soul Blast 2, draw 1. Works very well in the deck. Alright, now let's move on to the triggers. Now this is definitely a player's preference right here. I play only 4 crit, but the 4 crit are Supersonic Sailor. If you put in a soul, you want to flip a point of damage. It's pretty essential depending on how you play. And if you need that extra card in the soul, utilize that with Penguin Soldier. Works great. Next we play the 4 Margol clones, Battle Siren, Malika? But yeah, whoops, don't want to cover that. Yeah, 4 draw. Definitely essential in this deck. I wouldn't play Aqua Force. I wouldn't play any Aqua Force deck without draws. You definitely need that hand advantage, despite the fact that you also have that field advantage. So if that field advantage is ever lost, you need to either rebuild it or prepare to take a good pummeling from your opponent. So draws always help to keep your defenses high. Okay, because this my Kantai collection mat was a lot larger than your standard play mats. It's a large gaming mouse pad, and now I'm back to these playmats. This is definitely a little bit smaller, so I'm gonna have to do this, so you guys can still see the crit's still here, of course. But now I play these 4 new stand triggers from the new set. Excellent card, absolutely amazing. This card has not won me games, but it has opened up great windows when you don't have your Starless. Its skill is the first wave only, so the very first attack. At the end of the battle, this unit attacked a Vanguard. If your Vanguard is in Legion, choose up to one of your units or rear guards in the same column as this. Exchange positions. That exchanged card now gets plus 5,000 power, and this goes back to the this goes back to your deck and you shuffle. So not only recycle your stand trigger, despite the fact that it does swing for nothing on the very first attack, or if you combo your draw triggers with it, but the now new unit that's in the front gets plus 5,000 power, so it opens up better power combo plays when it comes down to your entire deck, especially since most of the grade 2s that I do play, such as your 12k attacker, Olympia, and Starless, or if you not Starless, Milos, you can definitely power them up, make them attack for bigger numbers, power up Milos, that way when he restands, at least he'll be sitting at 8k base, which is still moderately fine. Not many people play 8Ks unless they have the skills to unflip or whatever. But the fact of the matter is, always play your Doris. And definitely power up the board. It helps so much, when you don't have that first attack. So, yes, definitely. And it recycles. So getting more stands off is always good in Aqua Force. And of course, we play the 4 new heal trigger. Now, I do like Curry Man, but, when you have a chick, anime life, chick life, it always wins. This is a medical officer of the Blue Storm Fleet. No name for her, she's just a medical officer. And finally, for the starter, of course, I still play the Blue Storm Cadet Anos. Like I said, it's just a very good, fun deck, and it's definitely a player's preference in here. And his skill is put this into your soul. Your Vanguard gets a new ability. Choose one of your Vanguards. You can only choose a Vanguard with this, because if you can choose a rear guard with this ability, it'd be too broken. It gets Counterblast 1 when this unit attacks a Vanguard if it is in Legion. If it is the fourth battle of that turn or more, you may pay the cost. If you do, draw one card and retire one of your opponent's cards. So it's absolutely amazing. You can keep the Kagero concept in this deck. Definitely knock off one of your opponent's rear guards, possibly the starter if it's still on board with this. Because if you use this skill, it'd be, turn 3, 4, 5, by the time you get the cards necessary for Legion. And I don't play Quintet Walls because I don't like them in this deck too much. And you get more draw power, which is something this deck always needs in every Aqua Force, except this only works with Legion deck. And you get to knock off an opponent's card, so I find that absolutely essential. If you do want to play the Grade 3 Search, it's definitely recommended if you don't have Anos, or if you simply do not want to play him, you want to play someone else. And if you really want to be cheesy, I have played with the Officer Cadet Astrea. This card is absolutely silly. Your opponent would never ever want the Vanguard's attack to hit, because her effect is at the end of the battle this unit boosted. If it hit, Counterblast 1, put her in the soul, stand one of your rear guards. So it's absolute trolls and lulz, but I definitely always stick with Anos to the end with this deck. So guys, that's pretty much it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoy. Hope you guys like the new changes. I'm now in my new apartment. I officially moved out. Yay, single life. And the lighting, I really hope it's still quite the same. I try to keep the lamps, because I don't have a room light up here. Try to keep them as close together so you have nice lighting in here. Sorry about little glares if you guys saw that. And hope you guys like the new mat. Hope you guys like everything. A few things are going to be changing with my channel, such as how many videos I'll be uploading, because I now work 2 jobs. It'll be full-time. I won't be near the cards and card shops a lot for a while, so just stick with me, guys, and I'm sure we'll all pull through together. Alright, this is Leonhardt out. Peace.